Hi, I'm Danny Pellegrino from the Everything Iconic podcast. And who doesn't love a classic burger from McDonald's? That's right. McDonald's classic burgers are hotter, juicier, and tastier than ever. The patties are cooked to juicy perfection. I love the cheese perfectly melted on top. I love the Big Mac that has a special sauce in every bite. I love the pillowy, soft, golden bun. So in the words of the Hamburglar, which I believe means grab McDonald's best burgers ever before Hamburglar does at a McDonald's near you.
Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
Hello guys, welcome to this week's episode of Heavy Metal Tones with me, your podcast host Tony Evans, the last of 2022's episodes. Crazy to think that we have gone a full year. It is absolutely bonkers, isn't it? Absolutely bonkers. That to think that when I recorded this, it will be the last of this year, 2022. And I was thinking, what do I do for the final episode of the year? You know, I'd recorded a really heavy one about Christianity and music and quite sort of full of, you know, a deep conversation. And I thought, oh no, you know what, I'm going to pull that and I will leave it for maybe later in the year, or maybe for my Patreon channel when I open it, which should be doing that sometime soon in the new year. So there'll be an episode for my Patreon listeners that can be a bit more deep and meaningful in, I think. Okay, let me just have my drink. One moment. It's really hot here in Canberra, so I'm on the sparkling water at the moment. And it's the afternoon, so it's too early for the beers just yet, and it's too hot for tea, which is, you know, it's a dilemma. So I thought, what do I do? And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We had 2022 was a year, wasn't it? But it was a year. That's the truth. That's a plain and simple truth, Teddy. But it was a year that we sort of stepped here in Australia out from the shadow of COVID, although we're still there, but we stepped out of the shadow of COVID and into the light of post-COVID. And so gigs were coming about and we were doing more. And the Canberra Metal Festival, which was sort of mooted for January the year before last, got obviously sidetracked by COVID, so it was later in the year it was early, sort of mid this year, and a lot of the bands couldn't turn up, and sort of it was a sort of a smaller affair. And the one coming up in February next year is going to be an absolute stonker of 2 days. I'm going to go hopefully for both. I get back into the lovely land of Australia from my home place of birth, England, back in sort of mid-Feb. I will probably be jet lagged, but it's going to be well worth it. Now, what made me think about this episode was I did go a little bit crazy. There was a merch stand with about 30 different shirts. Well, firstly, I was a bit crazy. I got there, we got our normal food, we sat down, Benji and I, and over in the corner was this little table with some t-shirts and some vinyl and some tapes. I thought, well, okay, this is a bit meagre, but fine. And I sort of wandered over and through the nonsense that is PayPal. Literally, it took me about 15 or 20 minutes to set up PayPal to pay this guy to buy a Carnal Viscera shirt, which I love. They're playing it next year in Feb at the basement in the festival. And a couple of other t-shirts and I thought, well, okay, that's fine. And then our food came and we scoffed our food down, ready for the first act to come on. And I wandered around the corner and I look, to say I had a merchgasm was an understatement. There were so many fabulous band shirts, so many fabulous bands, and they were really reasonably priced. They were like $20 a shirt, something like that, something silly like that. And I hadn't bought a band shirt at a gig in, it felt like 2 years. So I went absolutely batshit crazy and bought, I think, one of everything, maybe, yes, I think almost one of everything. I had like 2-3 plastic bags full of stuff, patches and oh God knows what, and put it aside behind the bar, ready so I could go and enjoy the festival. The look on my friend's face, to say the least, was a bit odd. It was an interesting gig because there was a guy there. I don't know if I've mentioned this earlier in the podcast, but there was a guy that I don't normally get violent. I'm not a violent person by nature, but he started really pissing me off and talking about how as a Jew I was missing out on not eating pork because I mentioned I didn't want to eat the pork burger or something, and then he said he was going to kill all whales and dolphins because they rape each other and they should be destroyed, and Benji, doing his usual Benji thing, went off to have a cigarette and said, fired me a text, said, call me when that dickhead comes back, when he's gone. And I just had to walk away and left my friend there. I felt bad later on. I went up to her and said, look, I'm sorry, I bought her a drink to say sorry. Anyway, Sergeant, I'm sure I did mention that in a previous podcast. It's quite funny because, honestly, truly, I never wanted to harm someone as much as I wanted to harm him. He just really got on my nerves. Now, I know he was really drunk and fine, but you're drunk and a dickhead, you're still a dickhead. Doesn't matter whether you're under the influence of any kind of drug. But what this podcast was about this week is I've got, as you all know, or you might not all know if you're new to the podcast, I have a really large collection of t-shirts. I only wear band shirts. That's what I do. Or horror movie related t-shirts. I have one decent button-up shirt to go with a suit when I go out for dinner with my darling wife or to any special occasion. But everyone knows that all I do is wear a black band shirt. I can't even wear the red and white ones or whatever. If it's not black, I'm not going to probably buy it or wear it, to be honest with you. I mean, there is a science behind that, because they say that when men get to a certain age, usually early 40s, the style they have there is what they'll stay with, whereas women will change even throughout 1 year 3 or 4 times, but most women will constantly evolve, whereas men will stay the same haircut, same clothing, same. It's particularly if they're married, it tends just to stay that way. Sorry, and it is who I am. So I thought what I'd do is I'll dive into my t-shirt collection and pull out 2 or 3 and go through them and discuss them. I might have time to put them on my Facebook page. If they do, not today, it'll be tried tomorrow or so on, but they will go on there so you can see them at least. And just a little note to people who sort of are not sure about buying band shirts or where to wear them. There's a bit of snobbery sometimes when, and I've done it, when you see a teenager wearing a Iron Maiden shirt they bought in some, trendy jeans store because Maiden have sold their souls to them, and you sort of get angry and say, like, what are you doing, stealing my culture. Now, some of us, and I've got some band t-shirts of bands that I probably will never listen to ever again, but I bought them at the time, at the gig, because I honestly, you don't have to wear the shirt to love the band. You just might like the artwork. As long as you listen to them, or at least understand the genre they're from, I don't mind it. It's not perfect, but I don't mind it. And I've got a couple, I don't wear them regularly, but I've got a couple that I'll be like, I just really like that picture of the nun, half-naked nun licking an inverted cross, which I do have those kind of shirts, and I don't really like them, and I will wear them at gigs sometimes to because I want to just wear something no one else is wearing. Other times I just really like the artwork. So it's not a problem if you don't really. So those that are out there going, I'm going to buy a Metallica shirt, but I've never seen them live, doesn't matter. you know, there are a lot of people out there who've got Led Zeppelin shirts who love Led Zeppelin, who've never seen them live. You know, I've got a couple of Who shirts. I'm never going to see them live, not in the lineup that I like. You know, so you can pay homage. Homage is not a French cheese, I found out. Homage, you can pay homage. You could be lactose intolerant and still pay homage to whoever you like. So, shirt-wise, I always and I'm going to recommend this, guys, because I'm telling you now, you'll stand at your collection when you're 40 plus years old, in fact, like me, about to nudge 50, and go, I cannot wear that shirt because I bought it as small and I'm a medium now, or I'm a large. I'm not saying buy your shirts to future-proof them, but if you really love that band and love that gig, don't buy the one that's exactly the right size for you. Honestly, buy a medium. Most people can slip into a medium, and if you're a medium, buy a large. It doesn't look too big on you. I've got like a handful of small shirts now. I'm lucky enough that I'm not so big that I can't wear them, but I can't wear them comfortably. So, you know, think about that. I used to be really snobby as well. I was like, unless it had tour dates on the back, I didn't want to wear it because I wanted to show the world that I was there, I'd been there. Again, you know, that's up to you. I think I'm a world-weary traveller of these now, and all buy shirts all the time online, and I don't really care if they haven't got the tour dates on the back because I really love the artwork and I love the band. I'm very lucky that I do a lot of review stuff for Metal Ruse. By the way, also there's going to be an interview coming up with Michael from Metal Ruse very soon. Wait for that, it's going to be fantastic. He's a great guy to chat to. He's got a lovely German accent, really interesting to listen to. Anyway, so I get to listen to a lot of music, and so I go through a phase where I'll listen to the album and go, oh my god, it's amazing, and I'll just instantly go and buy the shirt. Then that's generally why I get them. I will collect. My biggest collection of shirts is Iron Maiden. There's no surprise there. Black Sabbath, no surprise there. A lot of punk shirts, again, no surprise there, but a lot of it's all random. I do have all of the Flaming Wreckage t-shirts, and all of the, you know, Witch Skull shirts and so on, because they're local and I want to support them. But what was I saying? So yes, so I went and thought I'd do a random pick, right? I don't think, because the shirt's white, a white raglan. Now raglan means that it's got like a short sleeve, a sort of medium sleeve, usually two-tone, white body, black arms, or red arms and white body. There's some fantastically really nice raglans out there in white that I have not bought because they're white, and I'm really sort of, I feel a bit of a dickhead for not doing it because the artwork's amazing. Do I buy t-shirts to collect and not wear? Yes. I have a lot of t-shirts what I've put into special storage for special reasons, quite rare stuff that I won't wear. It's like my record collection, you know, it's some stuff that probably never get played. It's just because I love having them around me, knowing they're there means a lot to me. You know, so, you know, just be who you are. If you want to wear white ones and your friends will wear black, who cares? Really, who cares? I turned up to a Deicide gig wearing a Def Leppard shirt. I mean, really? I mean, I thought I was going to get beaten up. You know, I've told you before, a friend of ours, a friend of a friend, and we went to a Deicide gig, one of the early ones in the early 90s, and he turned up because he worked for the record company, dressed in his suit with his backstage pass, and I turned around to my friend Melvin and I said, he's going to get murdered. I really felt for him, I really did. It's not so much that anymore now. I think the culture within the metal community is not so much. I mean, you might get a funny look, and will throw those funny looks. If you wear a Ghost shirt in front of me, I'm going to throw a funny look at you. That's the truth. If you're a teenager in cut-off jeans, shorts, you know, tanned, bleach blonde hair, beach type, and you're wearing a Metallica shirt or a Iron Maiden shirt or Black Sabbath that I know you've got that you've stolen from your dad's collection, I'm going to give you a funny look. All right? it might not be a death stare, but it'll be a passing glance. We've all done it. I mean, I remember walking down to from the train station in Parramatta to Download a couple of years ago, and there was all these Ghost, because Ghost was on the bill, and there were all these Ghost t-shirts looming their way and lurching their way from the train station for these. And I'm sorry if I offend any Ghost fans. I love Ghost. The first 3 albums, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. After that, it's ABBA nonsense. It's pop-tastic, terrible. It's not even good pop. It's not even good heavy metal. It's not even good rock and roll. It's honestly one-dimensional merchandise, flogging, awful teenage rubbish. It really, really is rubbish. And that's my opinion. You can flog me for it. That's fine. That's how I feel. I haven't done an episode on Ghost yet because I would feel that I would just be really constantly rude, and I don't want to be negative. And just that's my negative episode part of the show. I think they're rubbish. Leave it at that. Saw them at Soundwave in 2012, and they were fucking brilliant. But hey, things move on and change, don't they? But anyway, I remember sort of moaning all the way from the train station to the venue to my lovely wife about Ghost and mumbling at myself and you weren't there, man. You weren't there, man. You weren't at the front, man. All that kind of shit. And she kept saying, you've got this real problem. You need to let go of it. And I did. I let go of it. And when Benji really wanted to see Ghost, because that's how we met basically, was our love of Ghost, Benji and I. And, he went to see him, and once the saxophone came out, he just waddled off and went home. He saw, I stupidly left Slayer for a couple of minutes to show Karen Ghost, and I was like, what'd I do that for? I went back to Slayer, because there's their very final gig, and I'd seen them at every tour since Reign of Blood, and I thought, what am I doing? Why am I going over to that crap when I've got this intense furnace of anger and fire and brimstone and music and rock and roll in front of me? And I pop over to some guy in a rubber mask wiggling his thin backside with a saxophone. It was just like, okay, get it? Not me. But so we're all guilty of it, right? We're all guilty of this, and you'll do it, and it's perfectly fine if you do it. Don't feel bad about it, because we are all tribal after all. It's just what you have to understand is that person wearing that shirt is either feeling a bit embarrassed because they're not sure about it, loves them to the bits, so you shouldn't really make any comment, because everyone's taste is personal and everyone's taste is individual and up to them. It's just when they're a bit, it's when the fakesters come out, and the hipsters. That again, it's my problem. I have to live with it, end of the day. I suppose as long as the band gets the shekels, the dinar or the dollars from the merchandise, then fine by me. Right, fine by me. Anyway, I'm going to put some more of the sparkling juice in my glass. I'm going to go and grab those shirts, which I'm going to talk about. I'm going to see you on the other side of the adverts, guys. This won't be as long an episode this week because it's just been a really hectic time, and recording the 7 days for Christmas, and then also that whole episode I did on Christianity really was quite drained me. It wasn't till I was sort of coming home from work today that I was like, I really can't release that. It's too negative coming this close to Christmas. It wasn't negative, but it was just a bit heavy, and leading into the new year, let's have a bit more random, fun stuff. I've got some really fun stories attached to these t-shirts, so let's head into the adverts, and I'll see you on the other side, guys. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Danny Pellegrino from the Everything Iconic podcast. And who doesn't love a classic burger from McDonald's? That's right. McDonald's classic burgers are hotter, juicier, and tastier than ever. The patties are cooked to juicy perfection. I love the cheese perfectly melted on top. I love the Big Mac that has a special sauce in every bite. I love the pillowy, soft, golden bun. So in the words of the Hamburglar, which I believe means grab McDonald's best burgers ever before Hamburglar does at a McDonald's near you.
Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoyed the delicious moments of commercialism that are thrown your way during these times of podcast loving. I will be doing, as I said, hopefully a Patreon channel is my next thing. I just wanted to give it a little while and see the numbers to be regular. I didn't want to put out stuff that people might not want to listen to, and that will probably be ad-free. I mean, it will be, I might do 2 episodes a week, and one of the ones you get will be shorter, but Patreon-based ones. I think maybe a bit more, bit bluer, maybe a bit more in depth. I don't know. We'll think of something anyway. I might put that into the vote in the next few weeks and see how we go. So, t-shirts, collecting them, collect as many as you can. You can go. I mean, some of the tips for me as well is, if you're buying a shirt, if you can buy it directly from the band's website. If you can't buy it from a reputable company, if you want something unusual and cheap, go to things like, I've gone to Amazon, I've done Etsy, I've got stuff off of Chinese, what's the Chinese one of Amazon's version of that? I can't remember now. That one. I've done some but if you can get it from the band, please, because they're the ones that need the money. Buying it from a third person, that person's probably not giving the money to the band, and it may not be an official merchandise. The best quality shirts on the market for me at the moment are by a company called Transcending Obscurity. Absolutely, and the quality is just outstanding, and some really interesting bands. I just got the new Profundus Il Profundus t-shirt, De Profundus t-shirt, sorry. And it's thick cotton. The label in the back is beautiful. It's not an itchy one. It's really sewed in well. It's beautifully printed. Yeah, it takes a while coming from India because they're based in India. But the quality is just gorgeous. And you always get like a CD and stickers and stuff with it. It's great. And the guy that runs the company is a really nice guy. I'm hoping to try and get him interviewed as well, which will be really cool. So if you could do that, be aware that if you buy real cheap, it's going to be real cheap most of the time. If you want a band shirt, like I desperately would love, honestly, if I could have a Headless Cross shirt from the Headless Cross tour that I went to back in 89, 90, if I could do that, oh my God, I don't know, it would just make me cry. I don't think I could control myself. But they're so expensive. I found one on eBay and it was like $600. If I won the lotto and I was had $30 million sitting in my account, yeah, do it without thinking. So anyone out there who's got one who doesn't want it, size small or medium, can throw it my way. Even a large, I'd take. It's from the UK tour, just that one, right from the Hammersmithodian tour. But let's grab some of these shirts. I'm just going to lean over here and grab one. Okay, here. Oh, ASMR shirts. Lovely. Some of these are a bit old and are a little bit well loved. Okay, so the first one I've got here, he says holding up, is an Apocalypse Now t-shirt, the Exploited, from the Punk's Not Dead tour. It's got a picture of Watty from The Exploited on the front with the members of the band underneath. It's got a hammer and a big hole right above The Exploited on the there. I used to keep that sewn together with some safety pins, and laughingly it says size large There is absolutely no way that's large anymore. I reckon I'd struggle to get in that, and I would say it's quite small. It's faded grey. I never wear it. It's in my heritage part of my collection. I got it from a good friend of mine, Crazy Melvin. Crazy Melvin, as I've mentioned before, is a, I don't think he's passed on, is a Mauritian anti-establishment, anti-everything, satanic nut. He would got arrested for scrawling anti-Christian statements on under flyovers and walkways and underpasses. He got me arrested almost for chucking a rock at a police car and running off and not telling me he chucked it and I was looking the other way. He's just, he'd been there, done that. He'd been at Pistols gigs. He went and saw the police and passed out during a police gig. He was old, really thin. He was hypoglycemic and he's just crazy. And he always had 2 of everything or 3 of everything, like his record collection. He'd often give me records and I felt bad. But mainly t-shirts. He had an incredible selection of porn. His porn collection was unrivaled, I'd say, apart from my friend Daniel's dad. His collection was Daniel's dad's collection was crazy. But Melvin's collection, and he would just leave it lying around everywhere. He would often turn up at my doorstep at 3 a.m, knock on the door with an empty bag of sugar, and this is not lying, and say, "Have you got some sugar? I've run out." Like, he just was nuts. I love him, but nuts. Anyway, he gave me this shirt because he was like giving away all these t-shirts, and it was an exploited one, and I used to wear it a lot. And in fact, if I'm very much mistaken, and I could be, it was a shirt I was wearing when I met my now wife. I think it was actually, yes, because I was wearing my torn blue denim jeans with lots and lots of like messages scrawled all over it, like anti-police, anti-government, anti-religion. It was when I was in my really hardcore punk phase. Yeah, that shirt means a lot to me. It's in my set. I've got a collection, like a vault selection. I call my heritage shirts, which I can't wear and never will wear, and they stay there. They're probably valueless, really, but they are invaluable to me. Even when I smell it now, I think of those times because I'm sure it fitted me better before I washed it a few times on hot wash, or my mum did. Mum used to have a twin tub that used to bounce around the kitchen. It was a dolly tub, as they used to call it. One side was the washing machine, the other side was a spin dryer, a top loader, and we used to sit on it as kids to stop it moving around the kitchen. And I'm sure that she, as my mum always did, being a war child, boiled it within an inch of its life. I used to have a fantastic Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer tour shirt that was signed, that got washed with the signature off it. I had a Fish tour shirt that got washed and the signature came off it. I had a what did I have? It was another Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer shirt, but it had "fuck you" on it. Pardon the language. You wouldn't let it lie. Fuck you, you wouldn't let it lie. And no, it wasn't that. No, sorry, I had a Roger Melly, the Man on Telly from Viz comic. I love that T-shirt, and it said "fuck you" on it, and he was giving you the V sign. I've said that swore too much now, but giving the V sign, and she washed that till accidentally the hole appeared where the square was. My mother was quite prudish, actually, in that respect. She also, my brother had the Naked Cowboys, the Vivienne Westwood Naked Cowboys, in their hats facing each other with their cocks out, in chaps, and Mum accidentally cut a hole. Oh, it got caught in the washing machine, and the fending areas disappeared. Yes. Love you, Mum, but, anyway, that's what it was. That's what she did. So that means a lot to me, right? It's in my heritage one. I've got another heritage one here. Now, this one could be the one I was wearing when I met Karen. I am actually struggling. It was 30 years ago to remember. It's one of my favourite shirts of all time. It's another punk one from my heritage selection. It's a Sex Pistols. It was white. It is now cream coloured. It has no sleeves. I think they were cut off. The collar was cut off. one of the collars is held together by an old Sex Pistols badge. It actually comes from the Sex Pistols sex store in the 70s. My brother gave it to me. It's got a picture of John Lydon staring very, very madly out at us, wearing his Iron Cross pinned to his jacket, and then behind him, in a menacingly sexy Sid Vicious, sort of looking pensive behind him. It is a large shirt. I used to have to pin it with safety pins over my shoulder to keep it on. I had another one that was from the Pistols tour in '95. Unfortunately, that went the way of a lot of shirts that disappeared. A lot of them didn't come over, actually. When I packed them up and put them into storage to be sent to Australia from England, a good variety of them just didn't turn up. All my Marillion tour shirts didn't turn up. And I didn't think about it at the time, but I think they just got... We were moving countries, and we had a young child, and I didn't make a very good inventory, and a lot of that shirts, they didn't come. I think there's a whole case somewhere sitting on a dock, or even someone's taken it, where a few of my records, some of my Christmas decorations for my mother's Christmas decorations, my mother's crystal light set, and a lot of t-shirts, and I think that was one of them. Anyway, again, it smells beautiful to me. It makes me think of when I first met my wife. I think it might have been this one. Sorry. I'm a bit hazy on the fact, but it is a lovely shirt. Again, will I ever wear it? Nah, probably not. No, but it is something very important to me, and I wouldn't mind if any one day my kids having them. They probably won't care, to be fair. They'll probably just chuck them away or whatever they're going to do, who knows. But that's, again, quite rare, because that's a very rare print from it wasn't the sex shop on the King's High Road. That's from Boy, I think, who did take a lot of Vivian's styles, and a lot of that. I've got a pair of Boy bondage pants, tartan bondage pants. They still fit me, strangely enough, and they are again a copy of Westwood's bondage pants, but they're still really nice quality. And here's another one. This could be the last one, I think. No, one more. There's two more. So this one here, I wore this one the night before I met Karen. It's all connected to my lovely wife, isn't it? Memories. Because I went straight to my heritage pile, and I thought they'll be the most interesting ones. I think I've mentioned this before on the show. It's a sleeveless Killing Joke shirt. It's huge. I reckon it's an extra large. I can sort of wear it now. It was too big for me. I don't know why I did it. It was a phase I was going through, but I cut the sleeves off. I just don't know why I did it. On the front, it's got Pandemonium, which is my wife's favourite Killing Joke single. It's a song that I'll be covering in a band that I've just sort of joined tentatively, hopefully soon. We are doing A Love Like Blood by Killing Joke, but I'm sure to see if we can do Pandemonium. And it's a tour shirt, because on the back it's got April 1994, and it is in the now defunct London Astoria. Sadly, it's gone now. It's not there anymore. They don't play gigs anymore, from my memory. It's a gay club now, I think. It was when I went back there 20 years ago. Anyway, on the front it's got the like fiery sort of demon from that era of Killing Joke, where it's all dub and crazy drug taking. It is it was one of probably the greatest gigs I've ever done in my entire life. In fact, it was reviewed by Kerrang and said the greatest gig of all time, and I was there. I went with not a girlfriend, but I went with a girl that I knew, and we turned up to that. We separated during the gig, and I never saw her again. Now, we weren't in a relationship by any means. I think we were just friends. Or we might have been. No, we were just friends. Anyway, that I got so rat-faced. And that was the night before. No, yes, it was a couple of nights before I met Karen, actually. I met Karen the following night. I'd been at a Buzzcock gig. I got so drunk, I took a friend of mine back to her house to get her back safely. And then run out of money and run out of my bus card run out because it was too late, and I had to walk from Knightsbridge to Hendon, which was about 14 miles. And I remember eating food out of a French restaurant bin at the back down the alleyway because I was so hungry. And when I saw a policeman, I said to the policeman, "So, can you tell me how to get home? I'm stuck." And he literally pointed straight down. It's that direction, 14 miles. And I had to walk through some dodgy parts of London, and I was not dressed. I had my Killing Joke leather jacket on. I had my bondage pants, my then Killing Joke t-shirt, piercings, Mohican, you name it, I had it. And I didn't even have a Walkman. I did that entire walk, no music, nothing. I was just my own drunken stagger. Let me say I was sober when I got home. Let's just...
Have you ever Googled your own name? Prepare for a shock because your personal info, including addresses and phone numbers, is all out there. It's all harvested by data brokers and sold legally. Aura is a personal digital security service that scans the internet for your sensitive information and provides a full suite of privacy-enhancing tools. For a limited time, Aura is offering listeners a 14-day free trial at aura.com/safety. That's AURA.com/safety to learn more and activate the 14-day trial period.
A new year is full of surprises, but one thing is always predictable. Postage costs go up. Stamps.com gives you crazy discounts of up to 89% off USPS and UPS services. So when postage goes up, your business will barely notice the change. Stamps.com is like your own personal post office, wherever you are. You can even take care of orders on the go with the mobile app. No lines, no traffic, no waiting. Schedule package pickups, automatically find the cheapest and fastest shipping options, and seamlessly connect with every major marketplace and shopping cart. There's even a supply store where you can stock up on mailing supplies, labels, even printers. Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses just like yours. All you need is a computer or phone and printer. Take a chunk out of your mailing and shipping costs this year with Stamps.com. Sign up with promo code PROGRAM for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com code PROGRAM.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
This is Sarah.
And this is Beth.
And we are Pantsuit Politics,
a podcast where we take a different approach to the news.
We talk about news, we talk about politics, but we also talk about parenting and travel and pop culture and how all of that affects how we understand the world.
We're really different people. Sometimes you'll hear us agree and sometimes not. We think that's where the fun is. We laugh and learn together and with all of you twice a week, every week.
Pantsuit Politics is about engaging with each other and the news without the anxiety and the frustration.
We hope you'll join our conversation every Tuesday and Friday because politics doesn't have to be exhausting. Our listeners tell us it's like time spent with your good friends who did their homework.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
Let's just say that. So, yeah. And that was a good gig, that. The Buzzcocks went off. The bass player jumped into the audience and gave one of the guys next to me a thumping with his bass. It was hilarious. Anyway, that aside, so that was a Killing Joke. Again, a heritage shirt. Probably never going to wear it again unless I go to a Killing Joke gig. I've got loads of Killing Joke shirts, but I'll probably wear that one just as like if they ever come out and do a 50th or 40th, 5th anniversary tour or something. And now this one here, I reckon the Lucky Last is more of a actually tied into a show I just did recently. When I did my favourite Priest album and an album that people would not expect me to like, I got a lot of feedback that was not negative, but a lot of rolling eyes, and I felt a little bit of in the community, and it was Nostradamus, Judas Priest's Nostradamus, their one and only operatic progressive album. I thought, well, bugger it, I'm going to do that album because I like it and I don't care what anyone says, and it's my show, so who cares? Anyway, so I got this shirt. I bought one of the shirts. There was a couple of the shirts there. There was one with Nostradamus on the front. I didn't really like it. It looked a bit too cartoony. Dave got that one. Dave booked us the hotel thinking it would be a walking distance, and it took us like 50 minutes down motorways from Enfield in Sydney to Ace Arena. It was hilarious. Anyway, So I got the one. Now I got this one. It's got World Tour 2008, and it has Australia. It has all the countries. Okay. USA, Canada, Sweden, Norway, Luxembourg, England, Austria, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Spain, Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, Italy, Serbia, Croatia, Denmark, Greece, Romania, Turkey, New Zealand, Australia, Korea, and Japan. And on the front, it's got the pyramid from the dollar note, and a lot of looks like sort of astrological charts. And at the bottom it says Judas Priest. It's probably the most unmetal shirt I own, but again, great memories from that tour. It was the first time I'd seen them since coming to Australia. It was one of the first times I'd gone away with Dave to a gig. It was a brilliant night. The only downside to it was that the support act was down. If I can remember, it was down, I think. The Phil Anselmo awful rubbish that he's pelting out. I think I went to the bar and had a few drinks, if I remember rightly. I don't think Dave and I were there for that. I think we sort of deliberately, and we were up in the gods. I remember one, this bald guy getting up and headbanging so much, and there was all these steps, and all I could think of, fuck, he's just going to tumble straight into the 50 foot down into the crowd, whatever the distance was. It felt really weird. Anyway, and then we had women, sort of middle-aged women, sort of grooving. It was quite odd, but that shirt I wear, actually, because I'm really proud of it, and I do like it. Again, it's not in my heritage pile, but it's close to it, because I think with me, what I tend to do is once a year I take the shirts out, and I have about 450 plus. I take them out, and then I sort of go through them and move them so that I can have fresh ones, because otherwise I wear the same thing a couple of times, and I sort of then move things into heritage piles, and those heritage piles go somewhere else, and those piles will possibly never be worn again. And I know you crying, well, what's the use of that? Well, the use of that is that it's like my record collection. There's some records I'm too scared to play because I love them too much and want them to keep them forever, and so I tend to not play them, but that's fine, right? I've got some books that I've read once. I try not to, I collect Terry Pratchett first editions, and I've got all but maybe 3, and I won't open them again. I've read them, but I just like to know I've got them because they're there, and each one of them was an important time in the moment I bought it and read it and what it means to me. Same with Bruce Dickinson's biography. I've got 3 copies of it. One that I kept, a hard copy I got for my birthday, 2 signed copies, and they just sit there, and one day I might, move them on. I gave one to a friend because he was having a very tough time, and it cheered him up. Anyway, that's my walkthrough t-shirts. I'm sure I've got so many more I could do. I'd love to hear. Please do, please do send me pictures of your favourite shirts. Have you got a heritage shirt that you won't wear again? It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't. Please send me the picture on the Facebook page. I'd love to see it. I will post these shirts on the Facebook page for you, and maybe a couple of them others, but I'll show you my heritage one, the ones I've talked about. Do enjoy collecting, do enjoy wearing them, wear them with pride, wear them out loud, if they're you and that's what you do, wear them. If you're just a weekend warrior and only wear them, and you can't, like me, don't have the privilege to wear them every day, I'm lucky. I just slip over a plain black shirt at work and I'm done. I just swap it. I can just take that off. We go to work and I'm wearing my shirt. I hate winter for that reason, that I have to wear a jacket. I do love when I get onto the bus and walking down the street, people know where my agenda is and what I like to listen to. I sort of enjoy that feeling. I enjoy feeling I'm slightly stepping out from the norm, because life can be really boring otherwise. Anyway, that's me. Yeah, do please like and subscribe to the show. Please do leave a review, because it helps people find me. I'd love a review. It doesn't matter if it's 1 star or 5 star. And have a safe, enjoyable New Year. Do what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do what I'm going to do, drink safely. I'm going to drink a shitload, listen to loads of music. I'm going to end this year with a bang. I'm just going to enjoy it. You do the same. Thanks for listening this year. It's been a real pleasure. So I'll move the microphone. I've got this new table set up in the recording studio, and the mic's in a different place. So if I sound like I've gone away a little bit from the mic and come back to the mic, I'm just getting used to where the mic sits and where I'm sitting. Anyway, that's it for now. Have a safe new year. I hope you had a great Christmas. I hope you got everything you wanted and a little bit more. Anyway, bye for now. I know it's a slightly shorter episode by about 10 minutes, but hey, it's been a real long week. Anyway, talk to you soon, guys. Bye for now.